It starts with silence, not the peaceful kind, but that suffocating kind that fills a room when something is waiting to be found. In Flagstaff, on an overcast afternoon, one white envelope rests on the edge of Janelle Brown's kitchen counter. It doesn't belong, and it wasn't expected. No return name, only a P.O. box in Phoenix, typed out neatly. Too neatly. The paper feels heavier than it should, like it carries more than ink. Janelle almost doesn't open it, but curiosity, and maybe something deeper, that persistent itch which had been beneath her skin since Garrison's funeral, made her tear it open. Inside was one sheet. No letter, no explanation, just a clinic letterhead and a single sentence. The test confirms no genetic relationship between Robyn Brown and Ariela Brown. She reads it once. Then again her fingers go cold. Her knees buckle slightly. Her mind races to deny it, explain it away. This can't be real, but it is. And the name on the envelope, tucked on the backside, is one she knows better than her own breath. Garrison Brown, before he died, he mailed this. Not to the police, not to a lawyer, to his mother. Janelle's breath hitches in her throat. For months, she thought his DNA testing obsession was just a phase, another rebellion against the growing distance in the family. But now, it is not just rebellion, it is a revelation. Her hands shake as she pulls out her phone. One number, one call. Christine. The moment Christine answers, Janelle doesn't even say hello. He was right, she whispers. Garrison was right about Robyn, about the baby. There is silence on the other end, long, heavy. Then Christine exhales. Then we don't wait, we take this to court, because when you open a box with truth inside, even if it is DNA, you can't close it again. The Flagstaff courthouse doesn't look like a battlefield, but by the end of the week it will be. On the morning of the emergency hearing, reporters circle like vultures, microphones out, cameras rolling. They weren't supposed to be here, not yet. But rumors have already escaped. Words like DNA inheritance, stolen child, cover. Up Robyn Brown arrives first, face hidden behind dark sunglasses, clutching Kody's arm like her life depends on it. His jaw is locked, movements robotic. He doesn't say a word, neither of them do. Behind them, a second vehicle pulls up, the real storm. Christine, Janelle, and Mary step out together. No one expected that. Not even Robyn. Inside, the courtroom is thick with tension. TLC cameras are banned from the building, but that hasn't stopped whispers from leaking. Every row is filled, every eye is watching. At the front of the room, the case title glows on the docket screen. Like something pulled from a thriller novel, Brown v. Brown, Inheritance and DNA Determination. Hearing the judge enters, Judge Marlowe, an older man known for keeping his court strict and silent. Today, he looks like he is walking into a bomb. Christine's lawyer, Rachel Trent, calm but cutting, stands first. Your Honor, we are here because a deceased party, Garrison Brown, submitted a notarized DNA test from a licensed lab, which indicates a biological inconsistency between Robyn Brown and the minor. Ariela Brown. Gasps ripple through the gallery. Robyn's attorney, a silver-haired man in a $1,000 suit, stands just as quickly. Your Honor, that DNA sample has no verified chain of custody. This is an anonymous mailing, not legal evidence. Rachel doesn't flinch. She turns to Janelle, seated behind her. The test was delivered by Garrison before his death. It was kept sealed. His video testimony verifies its origin, and Janelle Brown confirms its authenticity. Robyn's hand grips the edge of the table. Her knuckles turn white. She finally looks at Kody, who doesn't look back. The judge leans forward, steeples his fingers. We will examine the test, the notarized statements, and any additional evidence presented. Until then, both parties will refrain from public comment. But it is too late for silence. The whispers have become wildfire, and somewhere in the crowd someone mutters the unthinkable. Did Robyn steal a baby? Outside, the courthouse buzzes like a hive inside. Robyn refuses to blink. Because now the lie has entered the courtroom. Court breaks for recess, but no one leaves their seat. Not really, not mentally, not emotionally. The room is thick with a silence that feels like it is waiting to explode. Christine leans toward Janelle, voice low. She didn't flinch at the test, but she flinched when you said evidence. Janelle nods, Her eyes haven't left Robyn, not once. And Robyn, she is frozen, but not from shock. No, it is anticipation, because she knows what is coming. Minutes later, the judge calls court back into session. Rachel, the lawyer, rises again, calm, measured, a storm disguised as still water. "Your Honor," she says, "we would like to submit video evidence, time-stamped, taken from Flagstaff General Hospital 12 years ago." Robyn's head snaps up, gasps again, louder. Continue. The lights dim, a screen flickers on, and the courtroom disappears into grainy footage. It is the hospital, maternity ward. Robyn Brown, years younger, is pacing in a hospital gown. Her hair is tied back, face pale, eyes wide with panic. A nurse in scrubs steps in front of her. "Mrs. Brown, you can't." The audio cuts, but the image is clear. Robyn is pointing at an infant bassinet, shaking her head, arguing, panicking. The nurse tries to block her path. Robyn pushes past. The screen cuts to a form, a discharge slip. 3:08 a.m. No signature on the mother's line. No match to the baby's birth certificate. No legal proof that the child leaving that room was Ariela Brown. The judge stares at the footage. "Are you suggesting," he asks slowly, "that a child was switched that night?" Rachel doesn't blink. "Not suggesting, Your Honor. Demonstrating." Robyn's attorney jumps up. "This could be doctored out of context, inadmissible." The judge shuts him down. "We will verify timestamp integrity before ruling on authenticity. Sit down, counsel." At the defense table, Kody's jaw tightens. His hands clench. He looks at Robyn for the first time since the hearing started, and she won't meet his eyes, because when the truth hits a screen, denial has nowhere left to hide. Christine exhales. That reaction. She has seen it before. The same fear disguised as confusion Robyn had when the Coyote Pass bank files were exposed. The truth is creeping out, and it is dragging everything with it. The video fades to black. The courtroom sits in stunned silence, as if even the walls are holding their breath. Janelle's fingers tremble as she grips Garrison's journal, pressed tightly against her lap like armor. She whispers to Christine, "He told me, check the adoption files. He said someone named Kara worked at the agency Robyn used." Christine nods slowly. "Kara, I remember that name." They share a look, a silent decision. The next morning, Christine tracks Kara down. A church daycare in Nevada. New name, new address. No digital footprint, she calls. The line rings, then clicks. "Hello, Kara." Christine's voice shakes. "It's Christine Brown." There's silence, then a whisper. "I knew someone would call one day." Christine's heart pounds. "It's about Ariela, isn't it?" A pause, long enough to feel eternal. She wasn't supposed to know. "None of you were." Then the line goes dead. Christine stares at the phone. Every truth comes with a warning, and she just ignored hers. Back in Flagstaff, the courthouse is packed again. The media has caught fire. Robyn Brown scandal is trending. Reddit threads are dissecting baby pictures. TikTok edits show Robyn crying in split screen with the DNA form. Inside, a sealed manila envelope sits on the courtroom bench. Christine holds it carefully, her lawyer beside her. "Your Honor, we have new evidence, a time-stamped video from the hospital. A different angle. This one shows Robyn Brown at 3:07 a.m., arguing with a nurse about a second infant." The courtroom gasps again. Shock is becoming a rhythm. Robyn's face pales. Her lips tremble, but she stays silent. Rachel continues. At 3:08, Robyn signs an unsigned discharge slip. It doesn't match the birth certificate. No name, no legal ID, just silence where truth should be. The judge leans forward. "So you're saying a child was taken without legal documentation?" Rachel looks directly at him. "Yes, and we now believe that child wasn't Ariela Brown, but someone else's baby." Kody whispers, voice shaking. "That's not possible." "But it is, and the evidence says so." Court breaks for recess again. The crowd murmurs, louder now. Frantic, reporters sprint outside to broadcast. Christine and Janelle step into the hallway. And then the call comes. Rachel answers. Her face goes pale. "It's the sheriff." Christine freezes. "What happened?" Rachel whispers. "The nurse, the one in the video. She's missing." The hallway goes dead quiet, because when the last witness disappears, the truth becomes a ghost. The air inside the courthouse feels heavier now, like it knows the truth is coming, but it is dragging blood with it. When the hearing resumes, the judge's tone is sharper, tired, almost betrayed. The nurse in question has not been located, he says, voice grave, but the court will proceed. Janelle sits like stone. Her voice is low but resolute when she turns to Rachel. My son didn't die chasing a rumor. He found something, and they buried him with it. Across the aisle, Robyn Brown sits dressed in black as if mourning her own innocence. Kody is beside her, eyes forward, fists clenched. He hasn't touched her hand once today. Rachel stands firm and focused. Your Honor, our next witness is a lab technician from the Phoenix facility where the DNA test was processed. The young man takes the stand, fidgeting nervously. His name is Caleb Ray, and he looks barely older than a college intern. Did you personally handle the Brown test samples? Rachel asks. He nods. And did you confirm the results showing no biological relation between Robyn and Ariela Brown? Another nod, a swallow. His voice cracks slightly. Yes, ma'am. We even retested to be sure. Robyn's lawyer jumps up. Objection. Chain of custody is unclear. This is circumstantial. Judge Marlowe raises a hand. Overruled. Continue. Rachel leans in. Mr. Ray, what happened after the results were confirmed? Caleb hesitates, looks down, then pulls out a paper. We were told to expect a call. Someone who would quietly handle the correction. Not for legal challenge, but internal redirection. Rachel's voice tightens. And who made that call? Caleb holds up the note, reading from it. It came from an office registered to Robyn Brown. The gallery gasps so loud, the judge pounds his gavel for order. At the defense table, Robyn's hands are shaking. Her mouth parts slightly, but no words come out. Kody turns to her, really turns, for the first time since the start. And for a split second, you can see it in his eyes, doubt. Christine exhales shakily. She remembers Garrison's voice on the old recording. They'll try to cover it before it gets out. He was right again. Then Rachel steps forward one more time. Your Honor, we have a final exhibit for today. A sworn affidavit. She raises a sealed folder, filed last week by the now missing nurse. On file with the county recorder's office. The judge's eyes widened. He waves her forward. Rachel hands over the document. She claims she was ordered to switch wristbands between two newborn girls, and that Robyn Brown approved it. The courtroom erupts. Reporters stand. People cry out. Kody slams his hand on the table. Number, this can't be true. Robyn's voice erupts. She's lying. That woman's unstable. Rachel doesn't even flinch. Unstable or not. Your Honor, this was notarized, and we have video proof of her submitting it. The lights dim again. A projector clicks. The nurse appears on screen, tired, shaking. If anything happens to me, this is my statement. The swap wasn't an accident. It was arranged. Then the screen fades to black. Robyn collapses against Kody's shoulder, sobbing, but this time it's not for the cameras. The judge leans forward, voice low. Mrs. Brown, your testimony will be under scrutiny. Prepare yourself for questioning. That night, Janelle can't sleep. She sits at her kitchen table. The same spot it all began, where the envelope first arrived, where Garrison's truth first whispered through paper. Outside, rain taps against the windows like a clock ticking louder than it should. And then she sees it. A small cardboard box left quietly on her front porch. No knock. No footsteps. Just stillness and a threat that feels too careful. She opens the door slowly. The wind bites. Inside the box is a sealed DNA test kit identical to the one from Garrison. But this one is marked with the hospital's watermark. One sticky note rests on top, handwritten. No signature. She deserves to know. Minutes later, Christine pulls into Janelle's driveway, wrapped in a thick coat, rain still dripping from her hair. What is it? She asks, stepping inside. Janelle hands her the box. Same date as Ariela's birth file. Christine's face hardens, moments after Rachel arrives, exhausted, determined. She studies the box for only a second before whispering, if this is from the same night, we're looking at proof a second, baby was involved. They sit in silence for several moments, staring at the box, like it might bite. Because sometimes when a mystery answers itself, it brings more pain than peace. The next morning, the courthouse is abuzz louder than ever. Reporters swarm, protesters gather. Supporters scream and sob from both sides of the glass. The hearing resumes. The DNA kit, now under court, ordered supervision, is carefully placed on the judge's bench. Rachel speaks clearly. Your Honor, this test was anonymously delivered to Mrs. Janelle Brown. It bears the same custody chain number as the original hospital record tied to Ariela's birth. Robyn's attorney jumps up. Objection. Unverified, inadmissible. The judge lifts a hand. It will be verified. Expedited under court supervision. Continue. At the defense table, Kody leans toward Robyn, voice low, sharp. If this proves you lied, I can't protect you anymore. Robyn flinches. That's the second time he's threatened to let go. She shakes her head slightly, but the fear is crawling up her spine like ice, because this time even Kody can't hold back the tide. Rachel brings in her next witness, Daniel Webb, senior auditor, Arizona Department of Health. He takes the stand, flipping through a government file. Rachel leans in. Did Mrs. Robyn Brown request a correction on a birth certificate in 2013? He nods. Yes. She stated the mother's name was misspelled and requested a new certificate under her ID. Rachel's tone sharpens. Was the original file already sealed at that time? Daniel pauses. Yes. Which only happens in cases of adoption or protected identity changes. The room gasps. Rachel delivers the final blow, so Mrs. Brown requested access to a sealed file she wasn't authorized to view. To change a name on a baby she is now proven not biologically related to. Daniel nods slowly. At the table, Kody slams his palm on the wood. You are twisting everything. Robyn didn't steal a baby. She saved one. All eyes turn to him. But no one's clapping, because when you defend a lie long enough, the silence that follows is your guilt arriving. Court is in recess again, but it is not quiet anymore. Not out here in the hallways. Not between these walls. Outside the courtroom, reporters swarm. One shouts, "Is it true the baby was switched at birth?" Another, "Do you believe Robyn stole her own child?" Janelle doesn't stop walking. She doesn't answer. Instead, she simply says, "We're just finishing what Garrison started." Christine is beside her, her jaw clenched, her hands trembling. Then, a voice behind them. "Do you have any idea what you are doing to my family?" They turn. Kody Brown, eyes wild, voice cracking with anger. Christine doesn't hesitate. Your family? You mean Robyn's lies? This isn't about her tears, Kody. It's about a child who deserves to know who her mother is. Kody's voice wavers. His face contorts. You're destroying us. Janelle's tone goes cold. No, Kody. Robyn already did that. We're just pulling off the bandage. Back inside, court resumes. Rachel presents Exhibit 12, 2 hospital discharge forms, both dated the same night. The first, she explains, is signed by Robyn Sullivan Brown. The second is earlier, unsigned. The names are different, but the patient identical, except for one thing. She holds up a slide, a mismatched barcode on the newborn's wristband. That barcode matches a second infant born that same night. The judge leans forward. Where is that second child now? Rachel hesitates, glances at Christine, then replies, still under investigation. Your Honor, we believe she was never registered under her biological mother's name. Suddenly, Robyn breaks. That is a lie. She blurts out, there was confusion in the nursery that night. 2 babies, both crying. I signed what they gave me. The judge's brow rises. So you are claiming hospital negligence? Robyn blinks, her voice catching. Yes, or maybe I don't know. I was scared. Kody leans in close, whispering through clenched teeth. Stick to that confusion. That is the only play left. But everyone sees it now. Her eyes darting, her voice cracking, the way her shoulders tremble. This isn't confusion. This is collapse. During the break, Mary sits outside, beneath a gray sky, her coat pulled tight. She always said God gave her Ariela for a reason, she mutters. Maybe that reason wasn't what she thought. Christine joins her, coffee in hand. Her voice is soft. I don't think Kody believes her anymore. He is just clinging to what is left. Mary nods slowly. We all did that once. Then Rachel steps outside, phone to her ear. She freezes. Her face drains of color. Wait, say that again. Christine steps forward. What is it? Rachel lowers the phone. Her voice is cold. The sheriff's department found something near a motel outside Prescott. Christine tenses. The nurse. Rachel nods. Her badge and blood on the fabric. It matches the missing witness. Christine's eyes go wide. Oh my God, what if someone silenced her? Rachel swallows hard. We can't prove that, but she filed something before disappearing. Christine stiffens. What kind of something? Rachel lifts a folder. A sworn affidavit. She filed it with the county recorder's office, naming Robyn Brown. Back inside the courtroom, the energy is no longer tense. It is electric. It hums beneath every breath. Because now they know, the missing nurse may have been silenced, but her voice is still coming through, on paper. Rachel steps forward, affidavit in hand. She looks up at the judge, then to the gallery. Your Honor, this is a sworn and notarized statement submitted by the missing nurse, 1 week prior to her disappearance, filed legally, witnessed, sealed. She unfolds the paper slowly, like unwrapping a bomb. It states that on the night of Ariela Brown's birth, she was ordered by a hospital administrator to switch wristbands between 2 newborn girls. The judge's expression tightens. Rachel continues, voice steady. She states that Mrs. Robyn Brown was present in the room, approved the change, and signed a post discharge document knowing the baby she left with was not her biological child. The courtroom explodes. People gasp. Some stand without realizing it. Reporters frantically text into phones. Kody Brown goes ghost white. He mutters under his breath. Number, this isn't happening. Robyn's face crumples. She pounds her fist on the table. She is lying. That nurse is unstable. She hated me from the start. Rachel raises a brow. Unstable? Perhaps, but this affidavit is notarized, and Your Honor. We also have video proof of her submitting it. The courtroom lights dim once more. The screen flickers. A grainy clip begins to play. The nurse sits at a desk, eyes hollow, fingers trembling. If anything happens to me, this is my statement, she says. The baby swap wasn't a hospital error. It wasn't confusing. It was arranged. I was told the mother had surrendered the child, but when I checked the surrender paperwork, the signature line was blank. The screen fades to black. Silence stretches like glass. Then something breaks. Robyn collapses, sobbing into Kody's shoulder. Not the loud, rehearsed scary. Kody doesn't hug her back. He just sits there, rigid, broken. Because at that moment, he doesn't even know who the woman beside him really is. The judge leans forward, slow and deliberate. Until we locate this nurse, Mrs. Brown, your testimony will remain under high scrutiny. You are to prepare for direct examination under oath. Robyn's attorney stands to object. The judge cuts him off with a look. Sit down, counselor. This court is not here to protect secrets. It is here to expose them. Outside, cameras flash like lightning. The scandal is now national. Media trucks crowd the block, and inside the courthouse, Robyn Brown is no longer just a mother. She is a defendant. Rain pounds the courthouse windows like the world itself wants in. Inside, the courtroom is sealed, but the pressure is rising fast. The new DNA test, the one anonymously delivered to Janelle, has just returned from the lab. Rachel stands, holding the envelope with surgical precision. Your Honor, these are the expedited results, supervised and verified by the court-appointed laboratory. The judge gestures for her to proceed. Rachel tears the envelope open. Her voice trembles slightly, but not with fear. This test confirms a maternal match between an unidentified female listed in hospital records as infant number 2 and Kara Thompson. A collective gasp rips through the gallery. Christine slaps a hand to her mouth. Janelle's eyes close, just for a second. Even Mary lets out a sob. Rachel continues. Further analysis confirms zero genetic relation between the child currently known as Ariela Brown and Mrs. Robyn Brown. The judge drops his pen. So, he says slowly, you are telling this court that Kara Thompson, the same woman once employed by Robyn Brown's adoption agency, is Ariela's biological mother. Rachel looks up. Yes, Your Honor, and we believe the child was taken through means that violate both state and federal custodial law. Robyn bursts into tears, but this time there is no sound, just breathless gasping, nothing left to perform. Kody stands. His face is pale, his voice cracked. "Your Honor, please. She is not a criminal. She is my wife." The judge glares at him, voice like a hammer. "Then you may want to prepare for what comes next, because when truth becomes evidence, love becomes collateral damage." Outside, the world erupts. News stations break into programming. Live feeds spread across social media. DNA fraud exposed. Ariela Brown, not biologically related to Robyn Brown. Justice for Garrison trends. Instantly, TLC issues a one-line statement. "We are reviewing legal developments and will take appropriate action." Inside TLC HQ, chaos reigns. One executive whispers, "Pull Robyn from all future promos. Archive all S21 footage. We're done." Meanwhile, inside the courthouse, Janelle clutches Garrison's journal like it is his hand. Christine whispers, "Do you think Kara will come forward now?" Janelle exhales. "I think she already did." And at that tomorrow, Christine stares out the rain-streaked window, jaw tight. Then tomorrow the world hears what Robyn stole. But not everyone is ready for that. Because in another corner of town, a phone call is being made. A voice, male, panicked, hushed. "She's going to talk. You need to stop her. Before it's too late." Morning breaks over Flagstaff, but the sun doesn't feel warm. The storm has passed, but inside the courthouse, the pressure is only building. Today is the day. Kara Thompson, the biological mother of Ariela, is scheduled to testify. Security is doubled. Deputies line the doors. Reporters are pushed behind barricades. Every lens is trained on the courthouse steps, waiting for a glimpse of the woman who could crack this case wide open. But Kara never arrives. 30 minutes pass, then an hour, still nothing. Rachel keeps checking her phone. Christine watches the door. Janelle clutches Garrison's journal like a lifeline. Finally, a court bailiff hurries down the aisle, whispering something into Rachel's ear. Her face drains of color again. She turns to the judge. "Your Honor, we've just received word. Kara Thompson's rental car was found abandoned 10 miles outside of town. Her cell phone was inside, her purse. But she is not." The courtroom gasps. Even Kody sits up, stunned. Robyn covers her mouth, but says nothing. The judge slams his gavel. "Are you suggesting foul play?" Rachel's voice is quieter now, heavier. "We're not suggesting anything, Your Honor, but she was scared. She told the clerk she feared retaliation. And now she's vanished." The silence in the room isn't quiet, it's oppressive. Christine stands suddenly. "This is sabotage. Someone didn't want her to speak, and I think we all know who." Kody shoots up from his chair. "Don't you dare, Christine. You've already burned this family to the ground. Don't accuse her without proof." Christine's eyes are full of tears, but her voice doesn't shake. "Proof Garrison died chasing this truth. Ariela was raised in a lie, and now the one person who could tell us the rest is gone, and you're still defending her." Robyn doesn't move, doesn't blink, doesn't even flinch. Because it's not that she won't speak. It's that there's nothing left to lie about. The judge breathes deep, the weight of national scrutiny pressing on his shoulders. "We will continue with the remaining exhibits. This court will not delay indefinitely." Rachel nods and pulls out a worn notebook. "Your Honor, this belonged to Garrison Brown. It contains timelines, names, notes, and recordings, including Kara's. He was tracking everything, even in his final days." She flips to a page. "May 3rd, she reads. Kara called. Said Robyn promised to keep the baby safe if she signed. But no contract ever arrived. Kara vanished a week later." Mary begins to cry softly in the back row. The boy they ignored spent his last days uncovering what the adults were too afraid to face. And just when the courtroom begins to settle, the doors slam open. Everyone turns. A figure enters, soaked from rain. Barefoot, hair matted, face bruised. A deputy tries to catch her. She pulls away. "I'm here," she says hoarsely. "Let me speak, Kara." The room erupts, gasps, shouts, reporters surge forward. Flashbulbs explode. The judge rises. "Miss Thompson, are you prepared to testify?" She nods. "I have nothing left to lose." Rachel rushes to her side, helping her to the witness stand. Kara places her hand on the Bible. "I was the birth mother. I carried Ariela. I was told she'd go into a safe, open adoption. But Robyn, she changed everything. The papers I signed, They were never filed. She looks directly at Robyn. She told me to trust her. And then she disappeared with my child. The room is silent, but every breath feels recorded. Every blink, every whisper, every shift of a foot. Kara Thompson sits at the witness stand, still soaked from the storm, her face bruised, but her voice unshakable. I watched my daughter grow up on television, she says, barely above a whisper. I knew her smile, her laugh, but I was never allowed to hold her again. Robyn made sure of that. The gallery doesn't breathe. Rachel steps closer, her voice soft. Miss Thompson, is it your claim that Mrs. Brown intentionally bypassed legal adoption procedures to take your child? Kara nods. Yes, and I have proof. She pulls a folded piece of paper from her jacket. Her hand shakes as she gives it to the court clerk. Rachel opens it, her eyebrows rise. It's an email printed years ago. She clears her throat and reads aloud. You'll get your check when the final papers disappear. No more questions. Consider her mine now. R. Brown. The courtroom explodes. Reporters jump from their seats. Gasps fill every row. The judge yells for order, pounding his gavel. Mary sobs openly. Janelle covers her mouth. Christine is frozen. And Kody, he falls back into his seat like the air's been sucked from the room. He stares at the desk. Then at Robyn. Then at the ceiling. Because now it's real. Now it's written in ink. Now the lie has a receipt. The judge's voice is lower now, angrier. This court will recess for deliberation. We will reconvene with federal advisors present, the testimony. And this email may indicate criminal adoption fraud. Deputies approach Kara, placing a protective hand on her shoulder. The judge looks at her gently. You'll be placed in protective custody until further notice. Kara nods. Thank you for letting me speak. As the court clears, Robyn grabs Kody's arm, sobbing. Please, please, you have to believe me. I was trying to protect her. Kody doesn't move. He doesn't even look at her. He pulls his arm away, rises and walks out of the courtroom. Robyn cries out, her voice cracking through the hallway. Kody, Kody, please, but he's already gone. And she's no longer a wife, just a suspect. That evening, as the city explodes with headlines and speculation, Rachel's office receives another envelope. No name, no return address. Just a seal inside bank statements. Wire transfers, offshore accounts. Rachel opens them. Christine looks over her shoulder. One name's on every page, Kody Brown. Christine's voice is barely a whisper. He didn't just cover it up, he funded it. Rachel nods grimly. And that means this lie didn't start with Robyn. It ends with her. But it started with him. The next morning, Flagstaff wakes up to a firestorm. Local news headlines scream. Deedna fraud confirmed. Ariela's real mother testifies. Robyn Brown facing federal charges. Garrison's journal was right all along. But it's not just Flagstaff watching now. It's America, and the rest of the world is catching on inside TLC. Headquarters in Los Angeles, chaos reigns. Producers, PR agents, and legal advisors huddle behind closed doors. An emergency meeting has been called. One line from a leaked internal email circulates Twitter in seconds. Remove Robyn Brown from all future promotional material. Archive all Season 21 footage. Suspend the spin-off indefinitely. A second leak spreads faster, requesting full legal review of Seasons 18-20 for potential exposure related to unlicensed custodial misrepresentation. In plain English, they may have filmed a lie, they may have aired a crime, and they may be next. Meanwhile, Rachel delivers the financial records to the court. Each page tells a darker story: wire transfers, discretionary family, trust adjustments, all funneled through a shell LLC registered under Michael Brown, Kody's cousin. One transaction stands out. $85,000 wired 3 days after Ariela's birth, labeled postnatal legal restructuring. Janelle's voice cracks as she reads the date. That's when Kara stopped answering Garrison's calls. That's when everything went quiet. Christine can barely hold herself upright. He always said Michael handled the taxes, she whispers. We never thought to look deeper inside the courtroom. The judge re-enters, looking older, tired, angry. This court has received verified financial documents indicating that Mr. Kody Brown may have been financially and strategically involved in the custodial fraud surrounding Ariela Brown. Kody stands slowly. Rachel steps forward. Your Honor, we request that Mr. Brown be called to testify under oath and be considered for federal investigation. The judge nods. So ordered. But before Kody can rise, Christine stands. No, she says. Let me speak first. Her heels are sharp against the marble. Her voice cracks, but it doesn't waver. For years, we were told to protect the family, to smile for the cameras, to keep secrets in exchange for peace. But it wasn't peaceful, it was controlled. She turns toward Kody. You had a choice. You protected Robyn, you sacrificed Garrison. You made us carry a lie so deep we forgot what truth even looked like. Kody still won't look at her. Christine steps closer. You let my daughter babysit Ariela, knowing she wasn't even Robyn's child. You let her call you Dad. You let us all build our love on something stolen. Her voice breaks. This isn't just betrayal, it's a wound you chose. The judge nods slowly. Mr. Brown, take the stand. Kody rises. And for the first time in years, he looks like a man with nothing left to hide behind. The courtroom has never been this quiet, not even during the DNA reveals. Not even when Kara walked in barefoot and bruised. Because now, it's Kody Brown. Once the self-proclaimed patriarch of a reality television empire, standing alone under oath with every camera, every critic, every broken heart watching. Rachel speaks first, her tone ice, cold. Mr. Brown, did you authorize the wire transfers linked to Kara Thompson's hospital file? Kody exhales hard. His voice is hoarse. Yes, gasps echo across the room. Rachel steps closer. And the Shell LLC used for those payments, was that created under your direction? Kody hesitates, then nods. Yes, but I didn't know how far it would go. Christine snaps from behind the rail. You knew enough to hide it. You knew enough to bury Garrison's warnings. Rachel holds up another sheet. Is it true that you approved monthly payments labeled care stipends for a child listed under number 47? Ariela's hospital ID. Kody closes his eyes. Yes, Rachel steps back. So you didn't just know. You paid to keep it buried. Suddenly, a deputy approaches the bench with a sealed flash drive. The bailiff whispers something to the judge, then hands the drive to Rachel. She plugs it in. The screen lights up. Your Honor, we've just received 200 hours of unreleased footage from a former TLC producer, a whistleblower. The gallery gasps. Journalists scramble to alert newsrooms. Rachel clicks play. The first clip begins. Kody and Robyn, seated in a Flagstaff rental. No lights. Just shadows and whispers. Robyn, what if Kara comes forward? Kody, off camera, then we'll say it was a private agreement. Emotional guardianship. Keep it vague. TLC won't press. Robyn, what about the DNA? Kody, we don't talk about that. Not ever. We bury it with him. The screen cuts to black. Another clip begins. A production assistant asks Robyn on camera, can we get Ariela's birth story? Robyn turns sharply, her smile gone. We agreed that the storyline's off limits. Don't mention it again. Christine turns away, tears in her eyes. Faith, a lie wasn't whispered. It was scripted, filmed, packaged, sold. The judge looks stunned. He pulls his glasses off, still staring at the screen. This court finds sufficient cause to pursue federal charges against Mr. Kody Brown for accessory to identity fraud, wire transfer evasion, and obstruction of custodial proceedings. Kody slumps. There's no protest, no defense. Just collapse. Rachel stands once more. Your Honor, we also recommend the court subpoena TLC for its role in airing possibly criminal content tied to an unlicensed adoption. The judge nods slowly. So ordered. Gasps ripple. Journalists run out the courtroom doors, already tweeting. Christine leans into Rachel and whispers, you just cracked the entire franchise. Rachel exhales. And it only cost Garrison everything. That night, the headlines hit faster than ever. Reality show now criminal evidence. Kody Brown indicted. TLC subpoenaed. Sister Wives franchise implodes. And trending across all platforms, number Garrison was right by the time the court reconvenes. There is nothing left to hide. No more denials. No more crocodile tears. No more pretending this was ever about family. This isn't a reality show anymore. It is a reckoning. Judge Marlowe returns to the bench, flanked now by a federal liaison. His voice is heavy, final. This court acknowledges Kara Thompson as Ariela Brown's biological mother. Effective immediately, full temporary custody is transferred to Miss Thompson. Kara sobs silently in her seat. Rachel places a hand on her shoulder. Christine and Janelle clench fists and sit next to each other, each carrying years of regret. Then deputies re-enter, this time escorting Robyn Brown in handcuffs. She has her hair pulled back. No makeup, no cameras, just silence. She is no longer the face of the show. She has been accused of a federal crime. The judge looks at her squarely. You falsified documents. You misled this court. You let a boy, your stepson, die chasing a truth you buried. And now the law will complete what he started. Robyn attempts to speak. The judge silences her. This is not your story anymore. The only voice that matters now is Ariela's, and then, to everyone's astonishment, Ariela enters the courtroom. She is just a child, yet she walks as if she has carried decades. Kara holds her hand. Janelle stands behind her. Christine does not bat an eye. She walks towards the witness stand slowly, takes the mic and speaks. I don't know who I am supposed to be now. But I know who I'm not. She looks at Robyn's empty seat. I'm not a secret. I am not a storyline. I am not lying. She turns towards the judge. Her voice is steady. I forgive them, but I don't want to see them again. Then she steps down, and in that moment, a little girl becomes a legacy. Outside the courthouse, the press surges forward. Robyn Brown indicted. Kody under house arrest. TLC franchise suspended indefinitely. And on the web, a single headline stands tall. Garrison died for the truth. Now the world knows it. Later that evening, Christine posts a 2-minute video. No intro, no background music. Just her and a framed photo of Garrison. You didn't die for nothing, she says, her voice cracking. You gave her her name back. You freed her. It gets 8 million views in 24 hours. Kneeling at Garrison's grave, Janelle places a fresh envelope on the stone. Inside, the court's final ruling, DNA confirmed. Custody reassigned. Charges filed. You did it, baby, she whispers. You brought it all into the light. Christine stands behind her, silent, no more speeches, no more explanations. Just wind and truth. Because Garrison didn't just expose a crime, he gave a child back her identity. He tore the mask off a legacy built on silence. And sometimes the most powerful voices aren't the ones we hear, they're the ones we ignored, until it was too late.